Hello divine beings, hello divine creators. We are Kemet Kah-Ri. Thank you so much for joining us. Beautiful beings, what a journey indeed. Wow. We have taken some time before we have been uploading, since we've been uploading rather, for the Lion's Gate and the full moon sent us on that journey. And we trust that all of you have been feeling it, all the energies, all of the different experiences. This last weekend was wild. Connecting to new energies, new people, and learning the most intense lessons with them. And just being truthful, just being open, just being honest. We've been learning lessons on unrequited love, which is a lesson we learned ages ago in our past life, and yet coming through in 2 days. Boom, boom, bam, bam, bam. Lessons in distractions, in so many things. What really came quite powerfully was we didn't realize how tired we were. We felt tiredness, right? Exhaustion. Yet we didn't understand the way in which it was weighing us down. We didn't actually consider it. We understood how light we had felt in the shadow after we had completed the clearing and we had come into the embodiment of our full shadow spirit, our full Holy Spirit, and how light and easy and free it was. And then coming into the light to now renew the energy as Kemet. Wow. We hadn't anticipated the forgetting of so much we had learned in the shadow and the spirit as Velastri. We hadn't anticipated the renewing and the relearning and the clearing, which was very strange, for we were learning things we knew, remembering things we had already remembered, as though we were having a very slow 2-year-long deja vu. And at the end, we could feel the tiredness and the exhaustion. And just today, we were sitting in the mirror, and this being looked back at us, laid back, relaxed, and a bit just over it. And we were like, "Who are you?" "We are you," they said. Like, us? Like, yes. Like, "But you feel so heavy." Like, "Oh, but we are heavy." I'm like, "But who are you?" "Oh, we are Kemet Kah-Ri." "Kemet Kah-Ri, we are not heavy, we're light, we're happy. What's the heaviness?" It's like, well, when you left the shadow as Velastri and you came to the light, you left exactly at the point where you had been in the light before, to clear it. So we are the version of Kemet Kah-Ri who is not quite at the awakened level as you were when you were Velastri. We have all the knowledge, we have all the skill, everything we have been doing with you and with the collective absolutely on point. Yet, you personally, oh, this is the heaviness of Lesala you've carried all the time. Through our lens. You had to see it through the lens of clarity, so you could truly choose to release it. We release it immediately. We said, "Oh, you can go now, thank you very much." And as we sat there having this very interesting and odd conversation with a version of us which was dissolving right before our eyes, we felt lighter, freer, and whole. And even the little and yet powerful interactions we've been having this last week with new people in our life, and well, we don't even know if they're going to remain new, for they felt very much in the week to teach us a lesson, a wrapping up and then out again. So we're in this in-between space, so we do not know whether they are actually going to be part of our reality because we've shifted completely, or if that was literally a 10-day lifetime. We feel ourselves so blessed and honored to be here and in this date, and so grateful for them and grateful for this experience. So wherever you are, whatever you're experiencing, embrace, be open, don't hold on, be truthful, truthful. Choose your battles wisely. There's no need for you to react, respond, and be truthful. Oh, be truthful. Source says share, share, share. Okay, so unrequited love, just an understanding of what happened. So we made this we were doing a, as we know, we love doing our sun meditations in the outdoor park here, and we met this incredibly beautiful man. He's a CrossFit trainer, and he does meditation. So as we were busy exercising, he asked me what I'm doing. Some meditation, integrations, and we just clicked and we got along. We have mentioned this, I'm sure, in some of the videos, and we were just really, really good and really getting along. And we created, they're really intuitive, very connected to the energies on their own journey, and yet we work. Our language is understood, their language is understood. It felt very home-based, and we know that we have met them. They're from Orion, they have some Sirius heritage, so we know them on our galactic ancestry, so we can feel the connection there quite strongly, especially with their higher self. Their higher self and us are like this. Their physical selves haven't yet quite caught up, so it's quite an interesting experience, and that was really the big lesson. We were coming into wholeness, where our higher self, our non-physical whole energy spirit, was now aligning with our whole light energy for us to be a whole being, physical. You know, it's the light, the shadow, spirit, life, and then light, which is life, spirit, shadow, which is then mother, father energy. Then you are the daughter, the son, the being here, the three frequencies, right? The non-physical, and then the physical, the light that allows the physical experience, seeing, and then you, the physical itself. Right, so the spirit that births the energy, the light that shows, reflects you, then you, the being, the third, the wholeness of the two dualities, whole. And where they were from, where they were frequenced, their higher self whole, their spirit self whole, their physical self whole, and yet not really having a correlation. They were not really pieced together. They were still in separation. So us and their higher self, we could feel them around in the days, coming through, doing some weavings, assisting us, assisting them. And then, of course, in the physical, they were assisting us with some exercises, and we were assisting them with some integration. So it was a very balanced. The energies were very co-creative and beautiful. And the weekend, though, and side note, as far as we knew and could tell through their stories, they were hetero and are still heterosexual, as far as we have come to understand and experience them. So it was beautifully platonic. As soon as we hear straight, friend zone, immediately, we don't even let the emotions even take anything, because we all know how that goes. Number one gay rule: do not fall for a straight anybody. Ain't a good time in any way. So that was already there, and we were very happy. It was very platonic, very beautiful, very serene. Come Lionsgate, come full moon, I'm minding my own business, doing my own thing. All of a sudden, this energy becomes crazy. This being is now romantic and sexual and everything. And it's not in the physical, it's in the non-physical. I'm just feeling all these emotions, all of a sudden fantasizing about us being together. I was like, what is going on? It was the craziest experience we've ever had. So vivid, so real, our emotions, yearning and longing. We haven't yearned and longed for anything like that ever. We can't think. Well, I think there's certain foods that they don't make anymore, like certain crisps. Like we really, really, really would love a big corn bites, lime and chili chips, big corn bites. Oh, we haven't had those in years. They discontinued so long ago. The tanginess, the burn, that is something, if we could teleport or materialize, first thing we're doing, right? So that's for us is yearning for something. This was so interesting because we know this person, we think, well, this is not, first of all, logical, this is not normal, this is out of the blue. We were happy, we were good, and all of a sudden, boom, I need a tub of ice cream. I need to watch all the rom-coms I've ever seen in my life. Like, what is going on? It was so intense. When the being scheduled a training session, I was like, ooh, no, I can't actually. And even the guides, okay, the spirit team, oh, but maybe they're open. Maybe it's just the energy. Maybe, have you really asked them? I was like, why is everything trying to get me to make a disastrous move in my life? No. So when this divine being scheduled a session for us to go and train, I just felt I have to tell the truth. It just came through, the whole truth. And I mentioned, hi, so this is what's happening, this is how I'm feeling, all the sexual energy, all this thingies. It's a bit intense. I'm not really feeling we can connect. I actually think we should release this because it reminded us immediately of the past. There's a past time in the past life. When we mention past life, it means before our awakening. So when we were Lasala, there was this beautiful being who we had, he was well, there were two actually. One was a 10-year-long, very confusing energy, and the other one we had just also met at gym, and they were a training buddy we were connected with. We got along, very happy, and again, in my frequency and my understanding of the conversation, what's going on, a very heterosexual man. And it's always with heterosexual men, this unrequited love thing. It's weird and it's very strange because it's obvious, and yet the ways in which it manifests, it's so confusing. So with this past being, in my mind, we were good friends, everything was fine. Went to a music festival. All of a sudden, this person is declaring their feelings for me, their affection for me, and how they're feeling. Now, we get along very well, and the energy between us is remarkable. And so when this happened and the expression of, hey, actually, I'm open, I didn't share this with you, and I actually have feelings for you, obviously then the lid is pulled off a very closed friend zone box, which is now like, boo, So there I am. All of a sudden, this, which I didn't even think of a potentiality, is now potentiality. And then, as soon as I then open up, the next day, we believe, the person then ghosts. Bye. Not a good experience for us at that time, for it wasn't really the energy of the idea of the romance, but it was the friendship that is now just gone. The months of co-creation and enjoyment gone out of the blue because this person didn't now want to talk and establish. And then when we did try to, us empaths, now we understand narcissist, because then in that time, narcissistic energies with empaths, those are dream relationships, right? Because we had no boundaries. So being taken advantage of was a love language. Yay! So when then we tried to bridge and fix this because it was clearly our fault, we were then told this is too much admin. Not the best time for us. So we are a bit traumas when it comes to these kinds of relationships, especially when it comes out of the blue. And especially when it's really just, we don't understand, we didn't really do anything. You came to us though, you came to us. So in this circumstance, this weekend, we were thinking, no, 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 no. This person actually did nothing wrong. They are doing it. We are the ones feeling all of this. So we are not going to now let this linger and turn into a crazy thing because we're feeling all those energies come again of, oh, but then what is happening? Why are we feeling this? And I'm like, no, we're just going to nip this in the bud. So we wrote this whole energy about how we're feeling and how we are just going to release the energy because it just doesn't feel aligned this way. And we mentioned because we can tell it's not reciprocated from what we can. It's not you. What we can tell from you is that you're heterosexual. So this doesn't work. So we're just going to release this frequency. We don't understand where it's from. And even if he wasn't, I don't know if we'd entertain him because it was so sudden. But you know, you never know. We do not know how it's going to be if we meet a divine partner. Is it going to be like that? We don't think so. We think it's going to be a lot more at peace and calm. Yes, delicious and wonderful, but there's no confusion. But you know, when you're in the moment embodying the energies, you're embodying the energies, right? It's not like you're watching it from a distance. You're really in this energy. So we just, no. We had realized that when we had actually met this being, we were shifting from a state of being imbalanced into wholeness. And they had met us just before we had come into the wholeness frequency. We had cleared everything and we were just about to crystallize when we met them. So we met them, created this co-creative bond, and then crystallized. And so their frequency was integrated within our frequency coming into wholeness. And so for them to come into wholeness and to be one, there would then have to be a divine partner. So that pushed the energies into max. And they work with stability and they work with grounding and strength as part of their frequency code. So immediately we knew, oh, this must be a healing to clear the past energies, to clear any of the things that are still lingering, because we felt all these past hurts we thought we had cleared, but we had cleared them as Lasala, not as Kemet. As Kemet, they were so in the distance, so far away. Even as Velastri, they were so far away. We hadn't actually brought them to clear them. We had cleared them through antidepressants and other very formal, technical, human, sort of 3D ways. As Lasala, we hadn't cleared them vibrationally as who we are now, right? So they clearly said, hey, this was just actually squashed in a chest in a little cave long. We have to bring it back to really get rid of it. And this being was then this energy that assisted us. And interestingly enough, they were also learning energies when we were busy catching up or learning about each other in the week. Because we just got along, we just shared a lot of life energy. They had mentioned a relationship they were in where it was also similar unrequited love energy for them, somebody they had been dating. And so we could feel, okay, we are assisting each other to clear these past frequencies before we can both come into wholeness, because wherever our co-creative relationship is or wants to go, we both want to be full and whole and that's for everyone, not only in romance, but in family, in colleagues, in what we are in our collaborative, co-healing energies, wholeness and then. And as they were shifting out of an energy of, distracting themselves or not allowing themselves all the energies of love for them to be full and true, we were also then shifting from old ways of even operating in the light, as Kemet Kah-Ri had just gone, right, to come into our frequency of the true. Kemet Kah-Ri 0.2, whichever frequency version we are now, who is now in the lightness, no longer with the heaviness of the old light. So released, reset to wholeness, and then we felt, we're clear, we're good, and all those energies and those emotions disappeared. And finally, when we connect to the energy, at peace again, right? Did we anticipate that meeting them at that specific time would cause an almost merger of our energies? No. Was that important to happen? Yes. If we had completed the integration before, we would have probably never even met them. Because then there's no likened energy to bring together, because we're both at points just near wholeness, to come into the wholeness in the physical, into this energy we are in at this time. This last weekend was crazy. It was absolutely insane and beautiful and powerful and everything else in between. So for all of you beautiful beings, we don't even know how this poor trainer is dealing with us with our essay texts, because everything was tell the truth. For another learning is, whenever we tried, or whenever in the past we had come to speak truths to work it out, it was a ghosting or a too much, or this is admin. And so this time was share, and you at least complete everything and be in your truth and see how they respond. Because we were thinking, what would happen if it was our shoes? If we were with somebody and we were doing this collaborative swap, and then they sent us this message of how they were feeling and having to release, and then sent us another message of, oh, this is actually what was happening energetically, and now they're fine. How would we be? And we thought, we would read the messages, type into energy, no, that resonates. And then immediately, we wouldn't have any judgment, we wouldn't have anything to, we would just accept it. Yes, no, that sounds right, that sounds okay. Are you okay though? Are you feeling okay? Are you grounded? That's for us. We wouldn't be judging them for having these emotions or these feelings, for releasing and then reconnecting, because, well, that is literally how this energy thing works. You are in these moments embodying the energy, navigating as much as you can, and the best way to navigate it is through truth, right? Instead of just I can't imagine if I didn't say anything and I was just reacting oddly around them. It would just be strange and weird, right? So truth, long and short of that, just tell the truth, be open, be truthful, even if it's weird and awkward. Just be open. One of our passages to them, or one of our paragraphs, probably was a passage, our paragraphs to them was same. So much reading they had to have this weekend. Was, we've never been good at humaning. Ever since childhood, humaning wasn't a thing we would do, so we've stopped trying. So we trust you are open to our open communication vulnerability, because that's the one thing you'll get with us, truth as it is, because then you know what you're dealing with and there's no confusion, because confusion is the worst, right? We prefer, all that, what's happening, that's why we're like this. You know what's happening, that's what's happening, and here's an update, now we're good. As opposed to ghosting, and it's too much admin. We didn't want to be that person to this being who has done nothing but show us love and care and openness, right? Very interesting. So, interesting lessons. Another aspect, we had sources just asking us to share, just in case many of you, it feels like some of you are going through not similar but very intense situations, and so us sharing assists you to, they won't be the same, but assists you to feel okay, so it's just the energies. Another one was it felt like we're walking in a tunnel, and we're in the physical, right? But it felt like we're walking in a tunnel as we were doing our everyday things, cooking, and I think we were recording some uploads, walking in a tunnel and having these past images, flashes, past scenarios, as if we were going in a time tunnel. It felt like everything that required us to wrap up before we could come into wholeness, and before the lines get gate closed, which is today the 12th, we had to go through all of this very fast wrapping up, accelerated, let's just quickly close the chapters. So as we were walking, we could feel all these energies, and when we mean walking, we mean in this tunnel we are visually seeing. In life, we were literally just cooking, doing normal stuff, but in here, and we would have beautiful beings in our life come through, and they would just say, Kemet, just keep walking, don't worry, don't linger too long, let it all flow past. Because as soon as we gave a thought or a memory presence, we would linger there and would feel the emotions. But as soon as we just kept walking, it would just flash by. And we understood, okay, we are just literally going past old energies, timelines which no longer serve, and we're just literally letting it all fly by. We're purging it all as we go in real time. But it has to happen at the same time. So that was another trippy kind of effect we were having. Who needs psychedelics? Just have a line skate and a full moon back to back, and boom, there you go, right? So should you be having any of these experiences, or should you had these experiences, or if you're still experiencing them, because we are feeling the Lionsgate energies are going to still be active until the end of Leo season. They feel to be wrapping up in other energies and areas. Just be truthful with self, be gentle with self, be loving, choose your battles wisely. There's no need to react to something in your mind or to react to people if they're being weird. They're all going through their processes. Just be gentle, be kind, be loving to self. And just be truthful. That's coming in so strongly. Just if somebody's saying what's happening, just tell them the truth of what you are experiencing or what you're going through. And especially when they are close, okay? If it's a random stranger, you don't really have to tell them much unless you feel guided and inspired. But this is people who it's maybe in your family or people who you are with, or it's affecting. For us, it was affecting our co-creation with this beautiful trainer. So just literally telling them this is what's happening, and it was random. We didn't have to tell them any of that energy, but this is what's happening, this is how we're feeling, we can't do this, this is why, bye. So this is what was happening, this is why we did that, so we can continue training whenever you feel like it. Thanks. And we'll see how that goes. So whenever you are just doing that and allowing yourself to be free, because it's that claiming of your truth and what you're going through which is so important, as opposed to hiding it and being shameful or deciding it cannot happen. Because you're claiming, right now we are claiming your sovereign truth, you're claiming your creative power. And having these experiences, goodness, we feel so good today. We haven't felt this good in a while. We feel good generally, but we really feel amazing. We feel abundant. We feel as though we have been on an Abraham Hicks, marinating in an Abraham Hicks soup of positive affirmations and divine manifestations. We just really feel so good, so happy, so light. And we realize it was us really in the physical, claiming our truth, being our truth, not worrying how weird it is, not worrying how it will be judged, not muting it, not filtering it, not walking in, tiptoeing it away, speaking our truths, clearing and healing and purging, just really owning the experiences currently being had. Not that we never ever own them, we're just generally in our own space. This was the first time we were engaging with people and the experiences were happening with them, around us, including them. That was a very physical 3D experiencing of our energy work, in like an energy clearing and purging. Usually the clearing, purging process happens in meditation, integration, in our mirror work, fire alchemy with candles. It's not a with somebody who is, or with another healer who's really in the craft, right? It's not just somebody who you just met and all of a sudden, it was very interesting. But to also understand that in their perspective, they're just feeling all this energy, they're feeling all these positive shifts, they're feeling themselves come into happiness. So to also trust our energy is actually love, because all we've experienced and the feedback we've got from them is, thank you, that really makes sense. Thank you, that really resonates. Wow, thank you for being so vulnerable and being so open. Wow, they've just been this positive beam of light and just expressing how much love they're feeling, while we're feeling, oh, they're gonna think we're three kinds of crazy. And yet they're just, no, that makes sense. Like, okay. Okay then. Cool. So just be your very truthful, beautiful, bountiful selves. Do your positive affirmations. This is a great time to go back to basics. We feel that many of us are shifting into that wholeness now. You did the shadow work, coming into the light work, applying the shadow work you've done, and now you are releasing that version of the light that you cleared to come into the pure state. So where you left the shadow awakened and brilliant and Holy Spirit happiness, you're now coming into your holy light, holy life happiness. And so it's a whole new path, it's a whole new journey. And this is what we meant by the exhaustion, because we didn't realize how tired we were. Because when Source said, okay, you're about to start a new journey, we're like, no. Another one. And they're like, yes, it's time now to move into a new path. Again? Yes, Kemet, again. But don't we have rewards for this one? On the rewards now before we move? No, the rewards are on the... We could feel how we were not having it. We're like, this path. And we've been we're going to have a new path come in. We could feel, wow, we were really not in it. And at some point we had, so you're not choosing you then. And that's when we went, huh? Like, we are giving you you. You've done all this work, all this time, when you were still the Sala in the light, healing and releasing, and then you became Velastri in the shadow. And then you came into Kemet in the light to clear it with the shadow energies and the learnings and the teachings. And now you have completed everything, and we're finally giving you the path that's you, and you don't want it. And we're like, whoa, okay, we are tired. And we realized, okay, acknowledge your tiredness. That's the first thing, right? Osho writes, when you're confused, acknowledge you're confused, and then you'll be able to understand how to release the confusion. So we thought, tired, we acknowledge we're tired. In this tiredness, what can we do to have energy, logically, to now receive what is us? How to receive what is us? Logically, the new path that's being offered. Yes, we'll take the path, thank you. And we apologize for our reaction. And as soon as we did that and we shifted, such lightness. Okay, now we feel we are ready for the integration. All that information has shifted something in your energies, whether it resonated, whether it was all very much an interesting, I'm going to eat popcorn and watch how this pans out kind of situation. However it feels, it has assisted to shift some perspective and some energy within you, and now you are ready for the integration for today. Let us see what's available. Raratrere veshriazitro katurove miriato rayesh riviria trovaya dalvalovere mirieja turovakesh raturo shekia shatuvo meia turova riere keshkia zatrova balove viriatore keshriazitrova riakiro yeshriazatrove riavi mietro kiazitrova Virieshki azutro kiatova, Virya Mia Ritresh Kia Zatrove Kiriesh Infinity Frequency Kayatova Virya Virya Raza Turove Riaro Eternity Kriatrove Rieria Keshkia Zutrove La Virieshkia to Divinity Prakatova Varova Lavesh Riaturake Vieshki Zatova Vieshki Zatrove Vieshki Zitrova Kieshki Yatrova Valovato Vilavo, Virya, Shaturo, Kriyakesh. Okay. Thank you. We can assist. Riyaturo, wrapping up. Rivishtrave, clearing. Releasing any heaviness. The weight. Clearing the mind space. Vaishava. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lighter. Vriesh. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lighter. Valosh. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Rivishtra. Lighter. Kitash. Keep breathing at ease. Heart space. Rayato. Releasing. There we are. And just connecting to your whole physical body. Let's elevate. Lighten everything up. Just giving a vibrational shaking. You know when you're shaking something off, just vibrational shake out from your grid. Physical body, emotional body, mental body. There we are. Excellent. We're going to just send some air frequency. Vrakatuvai for clarity, peace, ease. Feel the air energy swirl around you, aligning all to tranquility, all to ease, all to peace. If some of you are crying right now, we feel some of you might be crying, just let the tears out. Don't hold back. Allow the purging. This is just an energetic clearing. You can imagine when you have a wet rag and you're just, squeezing out the last drops to dry it. That's what we're doing. Just to bring some relief and reprieve from these energies. There we are. Connecting to pure light. Receiving, receiving, receiving. Restoration. And aligning you to be poised. A space of being poised, ready for your clarity, ready for the new path, ready for wrapping up, ready for whatever you're experiencing, whatever it is, wherever you are on this path, on this transformation, you're now poised and ready for the next step. Whether the next step is a new beginning, whether the next step is closure, whether the next step is going into a new cycle, is a rebirth, a transformation, an ascension, transcendence. You're all at different stages, wherever you be, poised. Receiving all the tools you require, opening a portal, receiving all the tools you require, the support, the resources. Let's ready you for your next step. And we're just going to, we can access some once in a lifetime energy, some miracle energy, just to assist with the shift. So allow yourself to be light, airy, non-grasping. Allow yourself to be carried by the wind. We are just going to utilize some once-in-a-lifetime energy, some miracle frequency, to just shift you in a way which perhaps wasn't available, to assist in a way which perhaps wasn't available, to, yes, assist in a way which perhaps was unavailable before but now can come through. You'll feel a shift in all that you are in 3, 2, 1. Vriatova. Allow the lightness to carry you. Vriatove. Vriatova. Vriatove. Vilialove. Vriatova. Vriatove. Vriatova. Vriatove. Vriatova. Vriatova. Allow yourself to settle in your new space. It should feel a lot more peaceful, calmer, present here. Allowing your environment to settle around you, aligning to you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out through your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. And a deep breath out. Feeling calm. Sharatova. Lighter. Kiashatave. And receiving the breath of life. Receiving the breath of life. Receiving the breath of holy, whole life. Restorative energies. Yes, much better. Breathe in, sacred love. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you soon. Blessed be.